Why, hello, Bakeman Bruins. I hope you're having a great night tonight. Just wanted to start something fun while we are all stuck at home. And I'm going to be reading a book to you guys at 7 o'clock. We'll be posting it here on Facebook. And it won't only be me, but you might see some of your teachers. So hope you enjoy it. Tonight, I'm going to read one of my favorite books. You can tell by my book that it's been read well. It is The Real Story of the Three Little Pigs. One of my favorites. And it is by A. Wolf. Alrighty. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs. Or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story. Because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Check him out. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. Look at that picture. Oh, would you eat that cheeseburger? What do you notice in that cheeseburger? Love this book. Oldie but goodie. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. What do you think's going to happen? Think about it a little bit. What do you think the real story is going to be? Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. Look at that bowl. Is that a cake you'd want to eat? Why or why not? Let's show that again. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. But this neighbor was a pig. And he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? There he is walking to the neighbor. Wants some sugar. Oh, and look at that house. Made out of straw. So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I puffed. What do you think's gonna happen? And I sneezed, a great sneeze. Oh, look at that sneeze. What? Oh, look at the pig flying. Look at the house falling apart. Oh, goodness. And you know what? That whole straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. Look at him. Now, it seemed a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not very much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, Wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. Oh my goodness, it's a pig shaving his chin. Isn't that silly? That's why I like this book, it's silly. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Oh, look what happened. Do you see the pig's feet? Look at the pig's feet. And you're not going to believe it. This guy's house fell down just like his brother's. But when the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. I love that picture. What do you notice in that picture? Isn't that silly? Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little bit better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the house next door, and this guy was the first and the second pig's brother. And he must have been the brains of the family because he built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house door. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf! Don't bother me again! Wow, that's not using your manners and showing character, is it? Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. And then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. Wow. Look at that pig. He doesn't look very happy. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Look at the police coming up. And do you see them huffing and puffing at the door? There comes the police. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of the huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. That's the real story. I was framed. But maybe you can lend me a cup of sugar? I love that story. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And maybe you can talk with your parents about what your favorite part of the story was. I think one of my favorite parts is I love when he huffs and puffs and when it blows down that first straw house and it looks like there's forks and knives next to the pig that is stuck in the straw. It's pretty funny. All right, I hope you guys are doing great. We love you. We already miss you. And I hope you guys have a good night. And we'll do another story tomorrow. Have a great night.